We are so pleased to announce our new product, and we are anxious to show you all its new features today. So keep watching.
I know we are both getting older, but now I have to deal with a cripple too. I will never forget the look of disappointment on his face when I showed him the back brace from my doctor to help me with my excruciating back pain. Despite all of this, I decided to push through and prove to him that I was still his loving wife and not a burden, as he was seeing me. For the first time, I had the courage to try and make love with my husband. This hasn't happened in many months because I was constantly in so much pain. But as soon as he laid on top of me, I felt something break and a terrible cracking sound in my lower back. Immediately, my entire spine went stiff, as if I was in a cast. I was completely paralyzed. Each breath I took sent shock waves of excruciating pain through my entire body. Frightened, my husband quickly called 911. But then as he looked at me, I could see his pity turn into bottled anger and then sheer disgust. I knew right then that for him, I had turned from the woman he used to love into an old paralyzed cripple. At the hospital, the doctor told me that my spine was so damaged that I would have to go through 3 disc replacement surgeries, months of expensive and painful physiotherapy, and that I wouldn't be able to do anything on my own for months. The worst part, even so, all this could not guarantee that I'd be healed and that I could lead a normal life ever again. I felt like my life was over. But at that moment, something in my brain kind of clicked, and I thought to myself, this could not be it. I am only 48 years old, a mother of 3, and not until long ago a woman with a happy marriage. I would not let back pain destroy everything. I was not about to waste my life unable to do what most normal people can easily do. So I thought, there must be another solution. This last glimpse of strength and willpower was the nudge I needed to begin what I call my inner journey. A journey which led me to the discovery of the real cause of back pain and helped me discover an unbelievably simple yet highly efficient solution to relieve lower and upper back pain, stiffness, shoulder, and neck pain. Something dramatically different from anything else you've ever seen or heard. So stick with me for the next 5 minutes to find out how you can finally get rid of the exhausting constant pain in your back, how to have the flexible spine of a 20-year-old, and to wake up every morning rested with more energy than a kid. I will also tell you why this common sleeping position actually worsens back pain, why you should avoid pain medication and spine surgeries. President John F. Kennedy lived his whole life with excruciating back pain because his medical team believed in this lie. Why most back pain happens without an injury? What is the weird connection between back pain and tooth pain? Why 80% of the population will experience back pain in their lives? And what makes the other 20% immune to it? What is the secret of Reverend Kevin Fast, the 57-year-old powerlifting pastor who broke more than 19 Guinness records, mostly from pulling heavy objects such as fire trucks, houses, and even an airplane, and never experienced back pain? But that's not all. I will also prove to you, beyond any doubt, that the root cause of back pain is not genetics, old age, heavy lifting, weather changes, or physically strenuous jobs. But according to a recent study by Johns Hopkins Medicine, which pushes the boundaries of biomedical discovery, your back pain is caused by a newly found back pain hormone which affects your spinal bones, making them look like Swiss cheese. The scientists discovered a gland in the neck which produces this back pain hormone, which disintegrates your bones, creating big holes in them resembling the Swiss cheese. This causes excruciating back pain and increases the risk of fractures by 87% compared to a normal person. So if you are tired of living with a constant ache in your back that won't go away no matter how many ointments, drugs, or medical procedures you try. Stick with me until the very end of my story, because in a few moments, you'll be able to shut off the cringing back pain that has taken control over your life. You will no longer wake up every morning with the fear that you will not be able to get out of bed because of the pain. You will not feel trapped in a body that does not work anymore. And you will not be seen as helpless by the ones around you. Because starting today, you'll be able to move freely, jump and stretch, walk long distances and run without feeling any discomfort. So are you ready to be the confident, active, and happy man or woman you were before back pain took all that from you? If the answer is yes, you will join more than 78,900 men and women just like you who had the courage to say stop to the backache and take charge of their own lives. People just like Annabelle Davis, 60 years old from Crown Point, Indiana, who wrote to say, "It's gone. It's all gone. Just like a bad dream. I was a painkiller addict and now no more pain, no more stiffness. Now I do a yoga class and I am the most flexible there. Ha! Imagine that." Or Lucas Garcia, 49 years old from St. Augustine, Florida, who said, "When my son asked me why I can't play football with him like other normal dads do, my whole world collapsed. This was a wake-up call I needed. Now we play every day to make up for the years that back pain took from me. My kid is the happiest ever." Or Evelyn Green, 57 years old from Cincinnati, Ohio, who wrote, "I thought that back pain was going to be my nightmare neighbor for the rest of my life after doctors told me that there is nothing they can do for me. But guess what? Doctors do not know it all. My back is not killing me in the morning anymore when I get out of the car or when I bend down to pick something from the floor. I can finally live a normal life again. All these people are the queens and kings of their lives again, thanks to a groundbreaking, inexpensive method that I discovered when I thought that pain had won. But let's not waste any more time. I want you to know who I am and how my unusual discovery turned the medical world upside down while saving thousands of lives. Hi, my name is Ann Miller, and the incredible story you're about to hear is 100% true. I am 49 years old. I am a botanist, and I live with my husband Thomas and 3 beautiful children in Johns Creek, Georgia. The fight with my back pain started 2 years ago. My lower back was aching a little bit in the morning, and in the evening, when after a long day all I wanted to do was to go to bed. At that time, I was thinking that everyone has back pain, and after 3 children and heading fast towards 50, it was perfectly normal to feel this way. Besides that, as a botanist, I have to spend hours hunched over my desk to study plants through my microscope. So imagine how stiff my back gets after hours spent in the same position. But all of a sudden, after a few months, I noticed that even warm baths, over-the-counter back pain gels or ointments would not soothe the pain. Also, the pain was starting to prevent me from performing usual daily tasks such as grocery shopping, changing the bed sheets, or even holding the kettle. I always feared that even the slightest movement would make the pain worse. All this stress and fear made me feel tired and anxious. One day I was driving to work when I suddenly felt a sharp pain as if someone had shot me in the back. Tears of pain instantly flooded my eyes, and I almost hit the car in front of me. I have never felt such pain before, not even when giving birth to my 3 children. The very next day, I made an urgent appointment with an orthopedist to see what was going on. I had an MRI scan, and he told me that I had mild disc degeneration, which is perfectly normal taking into consideration my age and professional activity. He said that, just like the hair which becomes gray and the skin that wrinkles as we age, the spinal discs are also affected by the aging and wear and tear process, making them thinner and stiffer. He also mentioned that disc degeneration is so normal that by the age of 60, more than 90% of the people will have it, and also that at least 80% of the world's population will experience back pain. I remember thinking to myself that these statistics only show how little has medicine progressed when it comes to back pain, and how all these people put all their hope in believing that doctors will actually make them better. Only later, I was about to find out that somewhere around $100 billion is spent each year on the treatment of back pain. So, in fact, it's in their interest to trick you to take painkillers for as long as possible and try expensive medical procedures so their pockets can get bigger and bigger while you will still be in so much pain. Of course, he gave me a prescription for painkillers, and he said that if the pain gets worse, I should also try physical therapy and chiropractic treatments. Long story short, the pain did get worse, but I still had to do something about it. And over the course of a full year, I have tried out everything there is to curb my suffering. I started with all, and I mean all of the advertised and touted painkillers, such as Advil, Aleve, Motrin, Tylenol, Voltaren, all of them. But instead of offering relief, they gave me stomach pains, headaches, dizziness, and high blood pressure. Then I switched to opioid therapy without even being told that I could become addicted to them. According to recent studies, people who use opioid medication have a 25% risk of becoming addicted to these drugs. So, if painkillers were making me feel worse than I was and opioids could make me become an addict, I said no to all of these and turned to acupuncture, physical therapy, and chiropractic treatments. For months, I was driving every day 2 hours to the center where I had my sessions, paying $400 a week. All this to gain only a little flexibility. I also had 2 painful cortisone injections directly into my spine at the price of $600 each. Their purpose was to decrease inflammation around the nerve roots, but the pain relief usually lasts only a month or 2. Also, what I later found out was that the cortisone is a steroid hormone that comes with many risks, among them cartilage damage, death of nearby bone, joint infection, and nerve damage. But the most painful of them all were 5 sessions of spinal decompression at the doctor's recommendation. During these 40-minute sessions, you are put on a table, you are tied from the legs and your chest, and then a machine stretches out your spine to relieve the pressure. Besides the fact that it did not relieve a damn thing, it only made things worse. After each session, I couldn't stand for an hour or else I would pass out from the pain. As you can see, I have tried a lot. There were days when I felt a little better, but most of them, the pain was the same or even worse. I was seeing how all my failed attempts to fix my back pain and all the money spent in vain were affecting my husband as much as it was affecting me. We started to have arguments and yell at each other for every small thing, but never about my condition. He never said a thing to me regarding this, but I could feel the tension between us, like a ticking time bomb, which could explode any time now. Day by day, my pain was getting worse. And no matter how hard I tried to hide the disability from my children, I could see that they were always looking sad, tired, concerned, and not smiling anymore as they used to. Also, the relationship with my husband was getting worse. We used to make love 2 to 3 times a week, and now it has been months since we've touched each other. So, I decided to go to my doctor and tell him that I do not want any more meds, and that physical therapy and acupuncture and chiropractic treatments do not work for me. That is when he said that there are 2 solutions. Option 1, disc replacement surgery to replace my damaged discs with artificial implants. But that procedure is hit or miss, and it has 50% chances of success. Also, it comes with painful, slow recovery and high risks such as persistent pain my entire life, nerve damage, lung problems, anesthetic complications, and even paralysis. The price? Somewhere between $20,000 and $35,000, which for any hardworking American like me is a lot. Option 2, it is a little less risky but very uncomfortable one. A spinal orthosis system, a sort of hard shell that would keep my spine straight and prevent me from hunching. I would have to wear this all the time, except for when I'm sleeping or showering. I would need someone to help me put it on and take it off. Price? Around $700, enough to feed our family for an entire month. From the two options, I chose the one with less risk, but which would make me look and feel like a living robot, unable to move freely, always needing someone's help to do ordinary things, such as picking up things from the floor or tying my shoelaces. I was trying to make peace with the thought that this was only a temporary solution. After more than a year of trying all sorts of methods with no results, what was another 6 months with this uncomfortable orthosis? I was trying hard to focus on my life and the ones around me and just ignore the pain and not let it define me. But my effort was in vain. What a fool I was to believe that back pain can be ignored. This is where my story would have ended if something really horrifying hadn't happened. And I'll tell you what that was right now, because, as you'll see in a second, it was actually the key to the natural back pain relief method I eventually discovered. I asked one of my kids to help me put on my custom-made spinal orthosis system, and I went to Tom, my husband. I will always remember the look of disappointment on his face when seeing me, as if he had lost me forever. He closed his eyes for a few seconds, probably hoping that when he opened them, me and my horrific back brace would have disappeared. I know we are both getting older, but now I have to deal with a cripple too, he said to me with a cold voice that pierced my heart. But even as I was feeling embarrassed and humiliated, I was still determined to finally prove to him that I was not a cripple and a burden, as he was seeing me. So for the first time in many months, I wanted to make love to my husband. I thought that this was the best way to prove to him that I was still the loving wife, that we still can have a normal life in a relationship. I told Tom to help me take down the back brace. I started undressing myself, trying to ignore the pain I felt with every movement, and I got in bed. But the moment he laid on top of me, I felt something break and a terrible cracking sound in my lower back. You know, the one you hear when you crack your knuckles. Then all of a sudden my back went stiff, as if I was paralyzed. Each breath I took was a struggle. Frightened, Tom grabbed the phone and quickly called 911. But right then, for a short second, as he looked at me, I could see his pity turn into bottled anger and then sheer disgust. At that moment, I knew for sure that I was no longer the woman he used to love, but an old paralyzed cripple. But how can I blame my husband, who saw me for the past years in constant pain, sobbing around the corners for being frustrated, defeated, knowing that he cannot do anything to help me? Without even realizing it, I had made him and my children victims of my pain. I remembered how I felt when my first baby wouldn't stop crying no matter what I did. The feeling that you cannot soothe the pain of the one you love throws you into a carousel of emotions. I felt powerless, angry, tired, guilty, a lousy mother who cannot help her own baby. So I understood why he would feel that way. The ambulance came, and I was taken to the hospital, sobbing silently in my pain. At the hospital, the doctor told me that my spine was so damaged that I would have to go through 3 disc replacement surgeries, followed by months of expensive and painful physiotherapy, and that for the next 3 years at least, I would constantly need someone's help 24/7. But not even this would guarantee that the discomfort would go away. Hearing that terrified me. I felt like my life was over. I could see myself paralyzed from pain, lying in bed, isolated from the world, a burden for the ones around me. That moment, I knew that the war with back pain had started. I remember standing there in that white room, the doctor in front of me telling me my options. I saw his mouth moving, but I could no longer hear what he was saying. I was angry at the doctors who take the Hippocratic oath to treat the ill to the best of their ability, but who fail to do so. Angry at the entire medical system, who has put the well-being of the patient in the last place and the benefits and profits of Big Pharma in the first place. Angry at the U.S. government, who choose to turn a blind eye on all the dirty maneuvers in the medical system and on all its citizens like me and you, who pay big money to improve our health so that we can be able to return to work for them, the ones who ignore us. But mostly angry at myself for letting things get to this point and not taking the matter into my hands much sooner. So at the moment, I decided that enough is enough. I could no longer be the lamb, quietly waiting to be slaughtered, a lifeless puppet in the hands of Big Pharma. I was not about to waste any more time listening to the solutions, so I went straight home. I sat down at my computer, barely able to withstand my back pain, and I started reading anything I could find on this topic. I just kept reading and reading everything I could find on the internet. Studies, research, medical papers, documentaries, even videos on how the medical procedures are performed. What shocked me was how often I stumbled upon these words: absence of evidence, lack of evidence, or poor evidence when it came to all the injections and types of surgery performed for back pain. I asked myself, what the heck is going on here? Are we just a bunch of lab rats for them to make experiments? And with our hard-worked money, this was outrageous. This only made me more determined to find a solution that will leave as many of these tyrants without their jobs and medical licensees. I also found hundreds of stories of people just like me who have tried it all with no real results. But not only regular folks have to deal with this pain nightmare. Believe it or not, President John F. Kennedy also struggled with chronic back pain, and neither medication nor the 4 spine surgeries he had fixed the issue. In fact, it made the pain worse, a pain that stayed with him from his college years until his death. Later investigation of his preoperative and postoperative films showed that the president had a radiographically normal-appearing lumbar spine. So all these surgeries did more harm than good. I also found out how the most common sleeping position, which was also my favorite, makes back pain 3 times worse. Did you know that the worst way to sleep is in a twisted position on your side? This causes your muscles to pull some of the spinal bones out of alignment. The researchers also said that sleeping on your back with a small pillow under your knees is the ideal way because it allows your muscles to relax and rest while also preventing any twisting of the spine. Keeping proper alignment of your spine is crucial in people with lower back pain. But returning to my research, what caught my attention among all these stories was that in the majority of cases, the back pain was not caused by an accident, injury, or any other type of trauma. In fact, these people could not recall a specific moment when it occurred, just like my situation. What I soon discovered about our spine changed my life forever. After weeks and weeks of time spent reading and researching, I found a study from Johns Hopkins Medicine that caught my eye. Swiss cheese bones could be the cause of unexplained low back pain. I laughed when I read the title. Swiss cheese bones? I thought that what I was about to read was just a joke, a way to make fun of a medical condition that affects millions of people all over the world. But then I read the source. Johns Hopkins Medicine, one of the top medical schools in the U.S., so I realized that this study was dead serious. As I kept reading, I became horrified. The things they explained there made perfect sense and had nothing to do with what I heard from each and every doctor I have gone to. So listen to this. The bone tissue in humans is renewed and reconstructed continuously through a perfect coordination and collaboration between two types of cells, osteoclasts and osteoblasts, the yin and yang cells of the bone. Osteoclasts, also known as the bone eaters, degrade aged or damaged bone to make room for new bone, which is made by osteoblasts, the bone regenerators. Like a restless ant colony, the bone eaters and the bone regenerators work continuously, each with its precise role. What do these bone eaters have to do with your back pain, you might wonder? Well, the study says that when this perfect coordination of these cells is thrown off balance, it wreaks havoc on the bone's strength and structure. The back pain hormone that I mentioned earlier is the one responsible for this disaster. What it does is order the bone eaters to destroy the bone much faster and aggressively, like millions of hungry termites devouring everything. Why? Because the gland that makes the back pain hormone mistakenly believes that the calcium level in your blood is lower than it actually is. So it sends its back pain hormone soldier to take calcium from the bones and release it into the blood. This means that more bone is being eaten away than is being reconstructed, creating holes in your bones, making them look like Swiss cheese. But this is not the only thing the glitched bone eaters do. To make more calcium for the back pain hormone, they also eat away at the cartilage between your vertebrae, poking holes into them too. You can imagine the cartilage as a comfortable cushion on a seat, which in time becomes filled with holes from moss. Nerves begin to penetrate these holes, reaching between your vertebrae. Unfortunately, now they will be repeatedly crushed between your bones. So even the slightest movement of the spine will send shots of pain throughout your body. The process is similar to the one when your gums pull back from your teeth, exposing the nerve pulp. That is why when you bite something hard or you drink hot or cold liquids, you get shots of pain throughout your teeth. But the damage continues as the bone eaters do not stop here. At the spine level, they go further into the hip and wrists, thinning the bones, making you more prone to fractures. Even the smallest impact could make your bones break like glass. How can you know if the bone-eating cells are the cause of your back pain? Well, I found out that there is a simple rotation spine test that you can do as soon as you get off the bed in the morning. Stand up with your feet shoulder-width apart. Raise your arms in front of you, bent at the elbows. Rotate your back as far as you can in one direction, then quickly switch and do the other direction. The movement has to be firm, but under no circumstances force it. Do it as long as it feels natural to you. Do this 2 or 3 times. If you experience any sort of back pain, there are 90% chances that your vertebrae are destroyed by the bone eaters at this very moment. And this is not my guess, but a scientific fact, as proven in a new study published just 3 months ago by the researchers at Back Pain Institute of West Texas, after analyzing more than 120,000 people suffering from back pain problems. What causes the dangerous back-wrecking hormone anomaly? I found more detailed information about this in another study, this time from the Center for Metabolic Bone Disease in Alabama. In their paper called Disorders of Bone Remodeling, the experts mention this back pain hormone produced by the gland in your neck, the radar for your blood calcium levels. You see, 99% of the calcium in our bodies is found in the bones and teeth. It is what makes them hard and strong. But 1% of calcium is used by the muscles, blood vessels, and the nervous system to function properly. If this gland in your neck senses that the calcium levels in the blood are lower than normal, it triggers the alarm. But there are certain factors that can make this gland mistakenly believe that the blood calcium levels are low, when in fact they are not, and as a result make the bone eaters damage more bone than necessary. Some of these factors are low levels of vitamin B, low levels of magnesium and zinc, stress, toxic chemicals in the environment such as benzene, BPA, phthalate esters, PFAS, organotins, which unfortunately can be found in the water and food we eat. Unfortunately, neither of these factors can be avoided in modern life. All these made so much sense. Any of these elements can make the back pain hormone act all crazy and order the bone-eating cells to destroy more bone than necessary to restore the calcium levels. This process makes your bones and spinal disc look like Swiss cheese with holes in it, and then the nerves sneak through these holes, being repeatedly crushed between the bones, causing the excruciating pain you feel with every move and breath you take. That is why all the doctors I've seen told me that my back pain is a normal aging process. Now you may wonder, but don't the back pain doctors know all this stuff? And if so, why don't they do something about it and change their treatment, right? Well, that's a pretty good question, and now you may really understand the devious practices of the back pain industry. You see, I believe that the doctors know about the bone eaters and the back pain hormone. After all, after weeks of research, I, a simple botanist, was able to piece everything together. I think that they ignore this crucial information on purpose. If you think about it, all they really want is for you to pay big money for drugs and procedures that will only worsen your pain, making you pay even more money. It's like a catch-22, a no-win situation from which you cannot escape. They want you to stay trapped in a body that does not work anymore. I have been such a fool. According to studies, at least 80% of the world's population will experience back pain. This is what my doctor told me when I first went to find out the cause of my back pain. What about the other 20% of people? What makes them so special? Why are they immune to back pain? One of these people is Pastor Kevin Fast, who at 57 years old has more than 50 Guinness records, mostly for pulling heavy objects such as fire trucks, houses, and even an airplane. So a man who is 10 years older than me can pull houses, trucks, and planes. And me, at 49, I cannot hold a kettle without clenching my teeth in pain. As I kept looking for information about him, I found out that doctors seem to believe that his strength is due to the fact that he has dense and thick bones. Dubbed the world's strongest priest, Reverend Kevin Fast truly believes that his body is the result of the clean food he eats, including vegetables and plants he grows himself. I tried to get into contact with him, but unfortunately I couldn't. Even so, I've watched dozens of interviews with Reverend Kevin Fast, and by pure luck, I managed to reach many people who know him very well, and they shared some pretty interesting stuff regarding his secret back-strengthening diet. This was truly exciting. Now I had a list with all the fruits, vegetables, and herbs that he uses to make his back super strong. Finally, I had somewhere to start from, a list of ingredients that target the bone and muscle strength. As a botanist, I know about the amazing properties plants have if they grow in a chemical-free environment with no pollutants to alter their properties. But I have only used them to speed up the healing process of wounds, cuts, scratches, and to temporarily soothe my back pain. I knew that I was onto something here, but I was stuck. I did not have the time, the money, or the technology to start and analyze hundreds and thousands of plants. It was a lifetime's work. I needed help, and the only person I could think of at the moment was one of my former colleagues, Professor Alan Wood. He was a renowned back pain expert who won many prizes for his research on the bone structure and strength, such as the Innovator of 2013 or the Distinguished Researcher Award. He has done countless experiments to understand everything that there is to know about bones. What are they made of? How they work? Their purpose, etc. He is also the author of several works on anatomy that are used as instructional texts in several universities. If he could not help me, I do not know who else could. So I decided to contact him and tell him my entire story and show him the studies I have found and the list of ingredients I had. Anne, you might be close to a revolutionary discovery. These are the exact words he told me, the words that confirmed that all the nights spent looking for information have not been in vain. You already know that medicinal plants have changed the medical industry and continue to do so. They are already widely used in the aging, therapeutics, pharmaceuticals, wound healing, and even for the formation of new cartilage, he told me. His studies were focused on all these properties and also on the way plants can enhance bone formation and speed up bone healing. But what good is it to know what plants relieve pain and speed up bone regeneration if the bone-eating cells keep destroying it? We had to find a way to stop the hormone anomaly and to prevent the back pain hormone from going haywire. We secretly used the state-of-the-art laboratory from the university where Professor Allen was teaching. Nobody had to know that we were working on a revolutionary back pain remedy. We knew that if we succeeded, this would cause the medical industry a loss of millions of dollars in profit. So we secretly worked during nights, feverishly running hundreds of tests on thousands of ingredients. We were exhausted, frightened that at any moment someone could discover what we were doing, but also excited at what we could achieve. There were nights when I felt like giving up, but then the pain in the morning, the feeling of being useless, the discomfort at every step I took, the thought that this was going to be my life, gave me the strength I needed to push further. And the big breakthrough came exactly on the 46th night. The test results were there. The numbers were there. The expected results were written black on white. Our formula was ready to go to war with the bone-eating cells. I did not wait a second. I took the first pill that night, like a child who cannot wait for Christmas Day to open the presents. That night, I could not sleep, thinking that the next morning I will wake up a brand new, pain-free person. But it was not like that. The morning came. The pain was there. The stiffness was there. The frustration was there. I knew that this was no magic pill that will simply erase years of pain and bone damage. So I calmed myself down and continued taking the pills. The next day, nothing. The 4th, the 7th, the 10th, nothing. I called Professor Allen and I told him that the formula is faulty, that we did something wrong. He told me to continue taking them and to wait a little longer, to give time to all the rare, 100% natural ingredients to swipe off all the damage done in such a long time. Rome was not built in a day, he said. Keep your faith. And so I did. Not long after, I noticed my pain had decreased to, let's say, 75%. I could now stand and walk for longer distances, and I was able to do grocery shopping without needing any help. The following weeks, I felt better and better, and although not completely recovered, I still felt as if I was in my 30s. I called Professor Allen and told him the progress. I told him that I will try the formula on my parents too. My parents, who are 75 and 80 years old and in less pain than I was, imagine that, were at first reluctant, and I could see why. Seeing your daughter show up at your door with crazy eyes, speaking like an insane person about the wonder pill she is holding in her hands and how this will take their pain away would sound an alarm bell to me too. But after I calmly explained to them about me and Professor Allen's discovery, the effects I experienced, the long, nights of countless tests and the fact that the formula had only natural ingredients, they accepted to give it a try. I also made sure to tell them to be patient and give it time, because each body absorbs the ingredients at its own pace, and that I found relief after a few weeks. While I was waiting for the formula to work on them too, I continued taking the pills. I had to go on and help my body regain its strength and flexibility, and to keep the back pain hormone under control and restore my frail bones. Day by day, I was feeling much better. I even started jogging for short distances. I felt more energetic, and I could say that Tom, my husband, finally had his loving wife back, if you know what I mean. After about 6 weeks, my parents called me. "It's the best 50th wedding anniversary gift you could have given us," my mother said, her voice trembling. My father was now walking without his cane, and my mother regained her flexibility and was able to work in her lovely flower garden again. They said that the back pain was not gone entirely yet, but that the results they have seen convinced them to continue taking the pills. I could not express the happiness and gratitude I felt to be able to help your parents be happy in their old age. You might be wondering why this formula is so special, and why is it better than all the other back pain medical methods out there. Now that I am convinced that our formula works, I can share with you exactly what it does. So here is a step-by-step explanation that will answer your what, how, and why questions. Phase 1. Your pain vanishes as if it never existed. I have been living with chronic back pain for the past 2 years, and it almost made me lose my mind. So I know how it's like to have this silent, nerve-wracking pain with you every second of the day. That is why we've gathered the strongest pain-relieving plants out there, such as lemon balm, chamomile, ashwagandha, and valerian. These plants have been used for centuries to relieve acute pain, stiffness, disability, and inflammation, while making you feel relaxed and sleep better at night. And although you might say that you can find them in any drugstore, we have found that only when bought together in specific quantities, they join forces to turn into the fantastic 4 super plants. Phase 2, your bones start to regenerate as nerves are pushed into their normal position. In this phase, the formula works to regenerate the lost bone mass and density, closing up those Swiss cheese-like holes. During this process, the nerves will be slowly pushed out from the holes to their normal position, therefore starting to eliminate the pain cause. For this step, we combine calcium, potassium, and lutein in their purest form to rebuild and fortify the destroyed bone. I already told you that 90% of the calcium in your body is found in your teeth and bones, so it was crucial that we add calcium to our formula. We had to add potassium, which not only reduces calcium loss from the bone, but also guides calcium towards the holes in your bones to fill them as fast as possible. But what's really unique and innovating about our approach, and crucial when it comes to eliminating back pain, is that we've added an unexpected substance as well. I'm talking about lutein. Usually lutein is used to improve eyesight, but what many people, including doctors, don't know is that lutein has been found to dramatically increase bone regeneration as well. According to a recent study published in the Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry scientific journal, showed how scientists managed to use lutein to speed up the bone remineralization process and also to stop the activity of the bone-eating cells. Phase 3. Your body stops releasing the back pain hormone completely. While the bones start regenerating and your pain goes away, it's time to address the hormone malfunction that triggers this whole bone-eating process. As I mentioned before, there are several factors which make this gland in your neck mistakenly believe that the calcium level in your blood is lower than it actually is. Low levels of vitamin B, low levels of magnesium and zinc, stress, toxic chemicals in the environment such as benzene, BPA, phthalate esters, PFAS, organotins, which unfortunately can be found in the water and food we eat. According to the most recent U.S. dietary guidelines, the traditional American diet does not offer sufficient amounts of important nutrients such as calcium, potassium, magnesium, fiber, and vitamins A, C, and B. So getting them from the food you eat every day is impossible. That is why we made sure that our formula also contains the exact dosage of magnesium, zinc, and vitamin B per average adult body weight to keep the levels within normal limits. When it comes to the toxic elements in your body, we had to be really careful on the ingredients we chose. Unfortunately, these chemicals can be found anywhere in this modern hyper-industrial era, from the air you breathe to the water you drink and the food you eat. So if there is no escape from them, we had to find the most potent plant that not only can fight their harmful effects, but also flush them out of your system. We chose skullcap, a plant widely used in traditional Chinese medicine as a strong detox herb. Although there is a great variety of this plant, we choose the most potent one, the Bacal skullcap. We use the root of this herb, which contains most of the active compounds, which help flush heavy toxins from the blood and body. To address the stress factor, we added Graphonia simpliciifolia, a plant found only in the West Tropical Africa and with amazing health benefits. You see, this plant's seeds contain a chemical called 5-HTP. Countless studies from universities such as Yale University, University of Cambridge, and University of Toronto have shown that a specific amount of 5-HTP increases feelings of happiness and general well-being, as well as reduced anxiety, improved mood, sleep, and feelings of relaxation. Phase 4. Boost flexibility and energy levels while strengthening muscles. For this phase, we chose rhodiola, a plant from the wild Arctic region of Europe, which we use to increase energy, stamina, and strength. The versatile plant also helps your body adapt to and fight physical, chemical, and environmental stress. We also added oat straw extract, an all-natural energy booster with no sugar or caffeine, which means no midday crash. It also relaxes the muscles, improving your flexibility. Last but not least, Mucuna pruriens, or the velvet bean, a plant from the sunny plains of Africa, which not only boosts energy but also muscle endurance. All in all, we had 29 ingredients that have been sourced from their natural habitat, such as the Indian plains, the wild Arctic regions, and the purest plantations in Eastern Asia. We knew that if we do not work only with 100% natural ingredients, all our work will be in vain. There was no room for shortcuts. We had invested too much time, money, and energy and sleepless nights to find this perfectly calculated formula, so we would not cut corners to cut costs. We wanted to make sure that this back pain formula really worked. I was so thrilled with the results that I wanted to share it with the whole world, but Professor Allen brought me back to earth. He said that seeing the results on me and my parents was encouraging, but that we needed more testing to be absolutely sure that the formula works. He said that he will share it at a retirement home close to his home, where he frequently makes donations for the elderly there. I agreed to go with him. As soon as we entered the door, my heart was filled with sadness. I could see old people with hunchbacks, using canes and walkers to move around, or relying on helping shoulders from the nurses. I was sad and angry. People who have contributed to the medical system for decades and paid their taxes were now abandoned by the government to live their last years in pain. People, such as my parents and grandparents, to which most surely the doctors told him that their pain is normal, a sign of aging, just as they told me. To my surprise, the medical staff, who knew the professor well and his scientific achievements, said that they will happily try the formula, nurses, medical staff, and patients included. We waited breathlessly for a sign from them. After about a month, we received a call. It was one of the nurses. She could not find her words to thank us for all the good we have done. She said she has also tried the formula and that her back stiffness is almost gone. She also saw improvements on the elderly. She agreed to send us some messages from the ones who tested the formula. So here are some of them. Nancy, 39 years old, nurse. I never believed that only one small pill a day would fix what doctors told me was the result of my physically strenuous job. I was in such pain from changing dozens of bed sheets every day, supporting the elderly to walk around and helping them to get off the beds. I had reached a point when I just thought of changing my job. This is how bad the pain was. Now I can say that I wake up smiling, thinking of the day ahead at the nursing home. John, 73-year-old patient. Me and sciatica have been friends for years. I had to rely on a walker to be able to move around without crawling in pain. When Nancy told me about this pill from Professor Allen, which could improve my pain, I accepted in a heartbeat, and I am so glad I did. Now, not only that I got rid of the stupid walker, but I can also show my rock and roll moves at the disco night. Mary, 80 years old, patient. I must admit that I had accepted pain and stiffness as part of the aging process. It's been more than 15 years since I gave up all hope that it can be fixed. There were days when I even refused to get out of bed. I just wanted to lie there. I had no will to live anymore. I am now for 6 weeks on this pill, and I can say I can move more easily and my spine is more flexible. Joan, 76-year-old patient. I could no longer dress and undress myself, bent down to take objects from the floor or sit down on the sofa, chairs, and even the toilet. I had to constantly have someone around me to help. One day, Nancy came into my room to wake me up, and she was in shock to see me all dressed up, standing next to the bed. Oh, how we laughed. Terry, 82-year-old patient. When my grandkids came to visit me the other day, they said they did not see me that happy in ages. They even told me to be honest and say if I had smoked something. I just told them that the two angels found a way to make our remaining days better. Thank you, Alan and Ann. They even sent us a group photo, which made us so happy. This was all the proof we needed to know that our formula really worked. So Professor Allen used his connections, and we immediately found a small CGMP, natural pharmaceutical company, where we could manufacture a few hundred bottles of our supplement. So you can rest assured that every capsule is manufactured in the USA in our FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards, so you can be 100% sure it's safe, clean, and of the highest quality. Moreover, the capsules are non-GMO. They do not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins, and they are not habit-forming. We called it Flexobliss, the 100% natural solution that will go to the root cause of back pain and slowly but surely give you back the control of your life. Once the back pain hormone will be kept under control and stop it from releasing the back pain hormone, and your bones will begin to be restored. Flexobliss will also help you improve your flexibility, strength, and endurance. Strengthen all your bones, eliminating the risk of fractures or slip discs. Stop deterioration of muscle, bones, and joints. Completely transform your life by eliminating the pain, all while enjoying high energy. Decrease daytime fatigue. No longer feel trapped in a body that does not work anymore. Eliminate the fear of living in permanent pain. And because this supplement targets the root cause of pain, it's perfect for everyone, from 30 to 90 years old with mild discomfort or chronic back pain, but also for those who just want to have a safeguard in place, something that ensures they never have to suffer from the devastating effects of permanent pain ruining their lives. So when you stop to consider all of this, it should be pretty clear what makes Flexobliss so special and why initially Professor Allen and I had considered charging $369 for this revolutionary medical breakthrough. Flexobliss has been scientifically proven to finally eliminate even the worst back pain in several weeks with no dangerous side effects, no excruciating costs, and no risks. So given all of that, it should be pretty easy to see why we initially thought selling Flexobliss for $369 would be the ultimate bargain. Except here's the thing. I want other people to be as happy as me, my parents and the elderly at the retirement home who have tried Flexobliss. I realized that not only I would make so many people happy again, but also that there was just no way I could live with myself if my own greed stopped people from finally putting a stop to debilitating pain. That is why I'm not going to ask you to pay $369 or $269 or $169 because my conscience simply won't allow it. Instead, and only if you act today through this special website you're now on, you'll be able to get Flexobliss for the small one-time investment of just $69. That's right, just $69 plus free shipping anywhere in the U.S. What can be easier than this? Simply choose your package, click the buy button, and Flexobliss will be delivered in a few days right to your door. I know how it is to live with back pain. That is why I want to make things as easy for you as possible. As I already told you, Flexobliss started working for me a few weeks after I started taking it. For my parents, it was 6 weeks, and we heard news from the retirement home after about 1 month. So, before you order, you should know that Flexobliss needs time to repair the damage that the bone eaters have done to your bones. The longer you have been suffering with back pain, the bigger the damage done by the bone-eating cells, and the harder Flexobliss will work to restore it. Seeing the finish line does not mean you had crossed it. Yes, we can guarantee that in the first month you will start seeing the amazing benefits of Flexobliss, like increased energy, more flexibility, and a little less pain. But if you want to keep enjoying these results and also completely restore your bones, you have to keep taking the supplement. To be honest, even though I saw and felt a huge flexibility improvement and no more back pain, I wanted to be absolutely sure that I will never go through the back braces nightmare again. So I kept taking Flexobliss for a couple of months more. And it makes sense. You don't see a tooth grow in just 1 week, right? Bone rebuilding is also a slow and lengthy process. But if you keep giving your body exactly what it needs, you will be able to make your bones as strong as those of Reverend Kevin Fast. When you think about it, it takes only 1 small pill a day to avoid a life of pain, feeling completely useless and like a burden for the ones around you, or seeing your parents or grandparents in constant pain without being able to help them. So I am asking you, do you agree that 1 pill a day is nothing compared to what Flexobliss can do for you? If the answer is yes, hear this out. I know that we are living difficult times and that we should spend each penny wisely. Remember, I have 3 children, so I completely understand you. That is why I have set up a discounted package system of 6 bottles of Flexobliss for you. For only $49 a bottle, plus free shipping. How does this sound? Much better, right? With only $294, you have a supply of Flexobliss for 6 months. That is half a year. Just as I advised you, we are also careful how we spend the little money we have. The ingredients are expensive because they are super rare. 100% natural and shipped from exotic, faraway destination. The suppliers are expensive. The manufacturing process, renting the facility, and so on. When we draw the line, we realize that we actually spend money from our pockets. That is why we manufacture Flexobliss in small batches. So when I advise you to buy 6 bottles of Flexobliss, it's not for us to get rich, but for you to enjoy a product which might become very difficult to find in the future, or that might not be on the market for long. I did not tell you, but our amazing formula has drawn some negative attention from the big companies out there, the ones that really want to get rich by getting you hooked into buying more and more drugs from them. And to prove to you that we've got your back, you'll also benefit from our full 60 days money-back guarantee. A full 60 days money-back guarantee. What is this, you might wonder? Well, it means that you have 59 days to try Flexobliss since the moment you buy it. If by the 59th day you do not feel any improvement, you can return the bottles of Flexobliss and get your money back. It doesn't matter if you used up the entire supplement. You still have your money safely returned to your account. No hidden fees or subscriptions. Just a safe and secure one-time simple payment. I am taking all of the risk here, and you know what? I am happy to do it. I want you to feel as safe as possible with this purchase and really understand that we want Flexobliss to change your life too and offer you the bliss you so much deserve. If not Flexobliss, what will you use to help you regain your flexibility and bliss you once enjoyed? So think fast. Will you keep spending thousands of dollars a year on drugs and procedures that cause more pain and discomfort than actually relieving your ailment? Or just accept the pain and try and learn how to live with it, like a creepy stalker always breathing on your neck? Or blame it on genetics, old age, or your job? Yes, you could choose to do any of the above, but why would you do that? It seems to me like the decision is pretty clear-cut here. Simply click the yellow button that you see below and get your instant risk-free access to Flexobliss right now. In the next few weeks, you will feel as if you haven't in such a long time. Healthy, happy, complete, confident, independent, free, without the fear of pain creeping up on you ever again. Your loved ones will smile and hug you, even if you thought that your illness has pushed them away forever. You will be able to finally help your parents and grandparents and anyone else you know that suffers from back pain. Just imagine how that would feel. Let me tell you, it's an amazing feeling. Having your life back, priceless. Sincerely, Ann Miller and Professor Alan Wood. Hey, you still here? I thought you might be. You still have some questions, right? No worries. I am here to answer them all. I know how it's like to have questions and to just bang your head on closed doors. But this is not who we are. What I found is that after I answer the most common questions, people feel a lot more comfortable making their risk-free investment in Flexobliss. So let me go ahead and clear things up for you right now so you completely understand what you'll be getting once you start using this supplement. Question 1. What makes Flexobliss different from painkillers and other back pain medical therapies? Well, first of all, Flexobliss is only made from 100% natural ingredients that we struggle to obtain directly from their natural habitat, no matter how hard or costly that was. That is why this product has 0 weird side effects. It can be safely used by anyone, no matter how advanced their pain is and no matter if they suffer from other conditions. One thing Professor Allen told me is that our bodies have the power to heal themselves if they get a little help. And the help comes in the form of the pure minerals, vitamins, and plants Flexobliss contains. As I mentioned, painkiller medication is $1 billion industry. What painkillers do is exactly this. Kill pain, and once you stop taking them, pain will come back. That is why they want you to stay on painkillers your entire life, slowly destroying your liver and developing other life-threatening medical conditions. And when it comes to back pain, medical procedures, believe me, the pain that they inflict is nothing I have felt. Instead of making you better, they only pull at your bones, which are already weakened and frail. Question 2. Okay, what else can Flexobliss do for me? Flexobliss addresses the real cause of back pain and stops the bone-eating cells from destroying more of your bones. It also activates the bone regenerators, which quickly build the destroyed mass and density of your bones, so you can move easily and without feeling any pain anymore. Flexobliss improves the energy levels, reduces mental stress, increases tissue and joint flexibility, and strengthens muscles. Question 3, can I take Flexobliss even if I have allergies or if I currently use other supplements? We created this amazing anti-back pain weapon so that it has no damaging effect on people who have various allergies, as the quantities of the ingredients inside are selected to be below the allergy triggering levels. But we recommend that if you have any known allergies to one of the mentioned pill ingredients, you do not take this supplement. Question 4. Why haven't I heard of this natural treatment before? Well, as I explained during the presentation, the natural treatment was the result of years of back pain and countless failed drugs and medical procedures. It is not one of those big pharma drugs which you are bombarded with until you buy it. Drugs surrounded by fake advertising and people with fake smiles, nothing but a scam. Flexobliss is a treatment only for those in need, those who trust the power of natural ingredients and who have the courage to look for the answers for themselves and not wait for them to be handed by a doctor. Those who seek the truth will find it. Question 5. Can you tell me again about the full 60 days money-back guarantee? Sure, check this out. You simply say, maybe to Flexobliss right now by clicking the yellow button you see below. You're then given a full 2 months to use this supplement so you can judge for yourself if it's as powerful as I say it is. If you're not satisfied for any reason, you just send me an email and I'll refund your entire investment. Question 6. Okay, I want to try this out. What now? Just click on the package that best fits your needs. Once you do that, your Flexobliss supplement will be shipped to your door in no time, so you can start your amazing back pain relief as soon as possible. I'm so glad that you found this product, and I really hope that you will be as happy as me and the other people for whom back pain is now just a bad memory.
Thanks for stopping by. I hope now you can see how our product will truly make your life easier.